was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. I'ma stand up for mine. You better believe it, 'cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. You see the devil in a glance, boy. So I can knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you.
Well, good evening and welcome back to the Nightcap. It is your final Ultimate Dirt TV broadcast of the evening for the World of Thunder Esports League. Of course, Sean Neistat and myself, Jerry Van Sickle, going to bring you what was last week's hitter of the night, the super late models, the Mimi's Makings and Motions Warrior Logistics super late models. And Sean, we're here at another tight little bull ring, and I guarantee you, it is going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Oh, absolutely. We were on a half mile last week, and tempers were flying, virtual fists were in the air, and now we're going to shrink that track down by half the size and throw a big concrete wall all the way around it. You can bet the intensity tonight, we're going to take it, and we're going to crank it up to level 11, just like the number on Jennifer Hans's car there we saw moments ago.
You bet. Jennifer Hans out there. Now you see Evan C. in the 33 taking a lap. There's Alex Robinson We'll see how Alex does tonight in the 42R machine. Of course, the Mimi's Makings and Motions Warrior Logistics Super Late Models here on a beautiful afternoon at Limaland.
Yeah, already seeing qualifying. Look at that. Evan C. up at the top of the charts, 12.542. Davin Cardwell right behind him, 12.606. Huey Killen just got bumped down to the 4th spot by Randall Carter, who goes 3rd quick at a 12.621.
Taking a look, Tia Moppert on track for her 2 laps of qualifying. We'll be able to hear her later because she got. We put the feelers out. She got a new headset. So
did she? I was going to ask.
She got a new headset. So Mama needed a new headset, and apparently we came through for her, and she's going to go off 8th on the qualifying grid right now. Evan C., Davin Cardwell, Alex Robinson coming in at 33rd quick as the bottom of it goes there. Blake Majulis 3rd quick. Zach McSwain. Like we talked about last Sunday, Sean, I mean, when you bring the World of Thunder super late models, they are some world-class hitters in this league.
Absolutely. Saw the cars going through the line there. Devin Morgan on the track right now in the 112 up to the 3rd quick spot. Saw Dylan Wilson there for a few moments as he is currently 7th quick and took the win earlier tonight in the big blocks. And, of course, the sprint car winner tonight, Alex Bergeron. There's his late model out there as he begins his qualifying efforts.
Yes. You know what was amazing, Sean, is we was at the Battle at the Barn this weekend doing the indoor kart racing, and I had people stop me, and they're like, dude, we watched that super late model feature last week. That thing was crazy. I go, huh? Oh yeah, you shared it. We just figured we'd watch the thing, and they said, man, we don't know much about iRacing, but we started researching some of them racers' names, and holy cow, they said it was the who's who of iRacers. So it's great that everybody's kind of taking a little bit of a liking and a knowledge to this, as we've got 42 of them tonight, Sean.
That is a big, strong field again tonight, so we're going to have some heat races. We'll have a couple of consolation features, and that'll all set us up for a big A-main here tonight, and that's what was so exciting last week, was that A-main. As you see, Evan C., tonight's quick timer, 12.542 for the driver of the 33 ride. Zach McSwain, 2nd quick, Devin Morgan, Blake Majulis, and Davin Cardwell, your top 5 in qualifying here tonight.
As you talked about, will be 4 heat races. So C, McSwain, Morgan, and Majulis going to sit on the pole of the 4 heat races, Sean, and looks like we have got them gridded up and ready to go here for heat race number 1 of 4. It'll be Evan C. driving the Team VLR 33 and Davin Cardwell in the 07, the Drew Hopkins racing machine.
2nd row, Jarrett Murphy lines up on the inside. He drives the number 25 machine. Gavin Korkiakowski in the number 15 starts outside of him.
We'll see Adam Homerding there in the 42 and Ethan Toder in the Drew Hopkins racing 23.
For Blue Groove Motorsports, starting 7th on the grid, James Grace in the 269. Chris Orencia, the 78 car, starts 8th.
We'll see Caleb Fergus in the 31. Landon Whitfield, that'll be in the 3 in the Vanderpool Racing entry in the 10th spot. Matt Yorker driving the Big Daddy Speeds Concept 43. And Sean, this will be a good one. Mimi's Makings Emotions Warrior Logistics Heat Race number 1 getting ready to come at us.
They're going to stack them in deep, and they're not going to have a whole lot of time to get to the front. This racetrack, quarter mile, high banked, really fast laps, just like we saw in qualifying. And I believe, if I'm right, Jerry, 3 qualified directly to the A main. If everything comes through right here in my math. And so, yeah, there's going to be a lot on the line when we throw the green right here on heat race number 1. And speaking of, here it comes. We're coming to that green.
Green flag will come out off of turn number 4, and Evan C. is going to rock and roll that 33 machine down to the bottom side of turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Davin Cardwell. Cardwell's going to see Jarrett Murphy right there, Homerding right there in the 42. Look out, got one crossed up. We're stacking them up down there in turn number 4.
Everyone able to get pointed the right direction, so we race on. See Cardwell, Murphy right now in the transfer spots. Adam Homerding right now 1 spot out of a transfer in that number 42 machine. You see him working right down there next to the tires as they head down to turn 1.
Homerding trying to make something happen, but he's got a little bit of a ways to get there to get to the back of Jarrett Murphy's 25 machine. Murphy going to look there to the number 3 spot. Second will be Cardwell. C will be your race leader as we work lap number 4.
See the number 42 of Hammerding now starting to lose more ground to Jarrett Murphy, who is in the final transfer spot. As you see, your top three as they work off of the corner. There's a good look at Davin Cardwell's number 70 running in position number 2.
They will work stair-step formation down the back straight away. It is C, Cardwell, Murphy, Homerding. That's your top 4. Remember, top 3 go immediately to the A main. The rest of them going to B and C's tonight. Of course, I believe out of our B main, we will bring top 12 cars, so we will see how they work that to our 24-car field. Down the front straight away as they work them on down. Still Evan C, your race leader, as your 12-lap heat races are well underway.
Still a good lead and good look at number 33 of Evan C. running out there in the lead. He finished in the second spot earlier tonight in the Envision Custom Graphics Big Block Modified feature event. He'll show the way down the back straightaway. He's got about 3 car lengths between he and Davin Cardwell, who continues to run in second.
Working lap number 8 this time. They come on down. Everybody kind of just getting a feel for the racetrack and checking things out. Chris Oracina, they're in the 78 machine, has got company from Landon Whitfull. Whitfull right there. James Grace back there in the 269. They'll work down into turn number 3 and 4. Heat race number 1 closing on in as we've got 3 laps to go.
These positions can mean a lot deeper in the field. Could mean the difference between being in the C or the B, and also starting grids for those features as well. So these drivers giving it all they've got deeper in the field as we're inside of 2 laps to go. Chris Orencia really throwing that car sideways when he gets to the corner.
Yes, he is. Still a little bit of a big moisture berm right up there on the top side of the middle section. We'll watch them work that to the top of the racetrack. Evan C. will bring the field on into turn number 3 and off turn number 4. Evan C. going to put himself into the A main tonight. Davin Cardwell, Jarrett Murphy going 1, 2, and 3. The rest of them, Sean, we will see them back in C and B main qualifying here later in the broadcast. So let's take a look at our official running order. We will see Evan C., Davin Cardwell, then it's Jarrett Murphy, then it's Hummerding, Korkanowski, Oracina, Whitfull, Grace, Toder, Ferguson, and Yorker. And taking a look down there, you look at some of those names back out of a transfer spot. They're known. They are not any slouches. Just got to be sure when you come to this league, you are on the button. So, speaking of on it, we're on to heat race number 2 for the Mimi's Makings Emotions, Warrior Logistics. Heat race number 2, Zach McSwain in the 38, and Randall Carter driving the Team VLR 37.
Second row has Dylan Hauser in the number 2 on the inside. He was last week's runner-up in that A main. Drew Hopkins, the 157. He'll start outside of the second row.
We'll see what happens from that row number 2 to row number 3. Alex Bergeron in the 12 and Austin Friedman in the 89 machine.
The number 41 of Matthew Logan lines up on the inside of the 4th row, and joining him is Dixon Slinger, the number 51, who ran through a whole lot of alphabet soup last Sunday night.
We'll take a look. Your final 3 starters going to be Derek Keltner in the 20 from Drew Hopkins Racing. From Sub-Zero, it's Eric York in the 26. And there he is, old Team Outlaw Motorsports, 42R of young Alex Robinson.
That's how they will line up.
Got to thinking about last week. Man, there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of drama, a lot of couple hurt feelings. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's time to move on a race to go to week number 2. So let's see if there's any drama for your mama. Let's see if you left the garbage at the curb and brought your racing wheel to the track. We're gonna see what happens as they bring them on down the front straightaway. It'll maybe be Swain, Carter, Hauser, your top 3 down into turn number 1.
Hauser giving a little shot there to Randall Carter, and they got into the first turn, trading some paint early on in this one. Yeah, they're trading some paint deeper in the field as well. Here's the race lead. Zach McSwain has it. Dylan Hauser slides to his inside. Can't quite get there. McSwain leads him down the back chute.
Hauser going to work there. He's going to be the meat in the 3 transfer sandwich off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Hauser down on the bottom to the outside is McSwain. Hauser is going to let it slide on up. Randall Carter right there. Alex Bergeron 1 out of a transfer. They'll work down into turn number 3 and 4. Still McSwain, Hauser, and Carter 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, big story there right now is your 410 sprint car feature winner from earlier tonight, Alex Bergeron, not in a transfer spot right now. Dixon Slinger back there in position number 5. Now, remember last Sunday night, he had trouble in his heat race, had to come from the back of the C to get to the B and nearly made it to the A.
Yeah, so we'll watch that 51. He doesn't want to lap up a bowl of soup tonight, I guarantee, even though it's a little chilly where I'm at. No need to have that soup if you don't need it. Speaking of not needing it right now, Zach McSwain, Dylan Hauser, and Randall Carter not needing any of that soup as they are into the A with the top 3 run right now into turn number 1.
Looked like Carter got a run on Hauser, and he'll continue that run now off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Randall Hauser in the 37 running in third, working all over Dylan Hauser. Back to 1 they go in the closing stages of heat race number 2. You see them heading down the back straightaway now.
Into turn number 3 and 4, Hauser still comfortable the 2 spot. Still your leader, McSwain, out front working that one. Alex Bergeron trying to make something happen. He has got the hook set to the back of that 37, Randall Carter, but just has not got enough oomph to get him reeled on in. They head down the front straightaway. This time there'll be 3 laps remaining. McSwain, Hauser, Carter, your top 3.
Seeing a very good run for Zach McSwain out front. Still Hauser and Carter second and third. They've kind of stretched themselves out a little bit. Everyone kind of equidistant from each other in that top 3 as we go inside of 2 laps to go. McSwain, Hauser, and Carter right where they want to be.
That top 3 is where you need to be if you want to be anybody. So they work on down into the number 1 turn. It will be Hauser looking. Hauser cut the tires down. They're trying to pull a swing, but he got a miss on that one, as it will be Zach McSwain to the win. Dylan Hauser going to the number 2 spot. Randall Carter going to the 3rd position. Those will be your top 3 transfer cars. Sean has thought there was something coming.
Boy, there was a big old haymaker there on that last lap. Couldn't quite get there, but heat race number 2 goes official here tonight as we'll start to grid them up in the staging area for heat 3. Here's a look at your official finish from heat 2. McSwain, Hauser, and Carter go 1, 2, and 3. When was the last time you saw Alex Bergeron in a B main? He finished 4th, Dixon Slinger 5th, Friedman, Logan, Hopkins, Keltner, York, and Robinson. Your 11th finishers from heat number 2. Heat 3 on the grid now, Jerry.
It'll be Devin Morgan from Team VLR on the 112 on the pole. Dylan Wilson, the 80 machine from the D1RT camp.
James Ray starts inside row number 2. He drives the 00. Mario Perez in the 22 outside, going from 4th.
It'll be Tyson Pankow in the 91 machine. And there she is, Jennifer Hunts in the 011.
Justin Robinson starts 7th on the grid. He drives the 21 for HRE Motorsports. Corey Austin from Mid-South Dirt Slingers in the 92 lines up outside row number 4.
Going to row number 5, it will be Travis Gardner in the 29 and Tim Korkanowski from the Sisu Dirt Crew in the 40 machine. You know, speaking of Jennifer Hunts, of course, she is the old Mimi's Makings Emotions, and I don't know if you know this or not, Sean. We were watching social media and in the chats. Apparently, she's working on a new desk side nightlight.
Ooh.
Yes.
Exactly what I need.
Exactly. Yes. And I don't know how she makes them, but I do know that they would be a great end table talking piece. Taking a look. Here we go. Green flag is out. We go down the back straightaway. It is Devin Morgan, your race leader, Dylan Wilson, Tyson Pankow. That is the top 3 as they work off there. Look at Jennifer Hunts in the $1 Million Motorsports number 11 machine. She's working on down to the speedway. It'll be the 00 James Ray right ahead of her as they work into turn 3.
Ray will work a higher line. Hans right down there by the tires as you take a look at Tyson Pankow. The number 91 works the bottom in a transfer spot and coming after Dylan Wilson for position number 2. Wilson through the middle. Pankow on the bottom. Your race leader Devin Morgan works the top. We're still side by side for second.
They'll work them side by side. To the outside is Wilson. To the inside is Pankow. Back there chomping at the bits are Ray and Hans. They'd like to see them two dice it up and be able to get into the mix of that thing. Is it still Devin Morgan's your race leader is Jennifer Hans back there. Now she's got company. Here comes the 22 of Mario Perez.
Perez will work to the inside of Hans. Hans has changed lines, gone a little higher on the racetrack. Perez to the bottom, and they were side by side for the moment. Still up at that second spot. Good race going on. Dylan Wilson, who led 50 laps earlier tonight in the big block feature to get the win, trying to hold on to position number 2. Tyson Pankow trying to rip it out of his hands.
Pankow going to work it down there on the bottom. Of course, first, second, and third. The higher you finish, the further starting spot up you have in the A main tonight, as it is still Morgan, your race leader, Wilson, Pankow, and Ray, your top 4 down the back straightaway. Sean, we're going to get it on for second.
Yes, we are off of that corner. The 91, Pankow been working so well right down there by those tires as Wilson continues to work that cushion higher and higher on the racetrack. That's how they'll come off of turn number 4 once again. It looks like Wilson's a little stronger down here in 1 and 2, and then Pankow makes up his time down there in 3 and 4. Still a good race going on for position number 2.
Yes, it is. It's side by side. Like you said, both of them quick on each side of the racetrack, just almost equal as they work down on both ends of the speedway. Cannot find that bit of grip or that advantage they need as they come on down this time. The white flag's out. 1 to go. Devin Morgan, your race leader.
Morgan will take him off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch for the final time. We'll keep watching a little bit of that race for the second spot. Morgan, final set of turns. He's going to get the win for the second spot at the line. It's Dylan Wilson. Tyson Pankow will take the third and final transfer position. So Heat 3 goes into the books. Another good one there, Jerry.
Heck yes, they've all been good right from the drop of the green as Heat race number 3 rolls on into the books. Let's take a look at your finishing order as they get ready to roll them on up the screen here as we get a great view trackside as it is. There we go. Morgan, Wilson, Pankow, 1, 2, and 3. Ray Hantz, Perez, Robinson, Austin, Gardner, and Korkanowski rounding out the field. He rates number 4 getting ready to come to the speedway. It'll be Blake Majulis, the 127, Team D1RT, and then it'll be Huey Quillen in the 4 machine from the Mid-South region.
Tia Moppert and her new headset starting inside row number 2 for D1RT Racing. And car number 14, Tanner Tomasi in the 09, lining up in position number 4.
Mike Augustine will drive the 72 car out of Pennsylvania to the inside of row number 3. To the outside, it's Travis St. Clair driving the Rocket Esports number 13.
Row number 4 on the inside, Chase Hardy in the 49, and on the outside, it's Robert Fletcher in the 77.
Going to row number 5, it's Eric Skolf driving the $1 Million Motorsports number 50, and Jack Weaver out of the Mid-South Dirt Slingers 34. Of course, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers is a great sponsor of the Super Late Models and the World of Thunder Esports League Season 12 as we go green flag. Blake Majulis going to be to the point, but he's going to be chased by, well, the better half of that crew. Here comes Tia. Tia says, listen here, I'm going to run this 14 to the number 2 spot. Now, if I get up there and ruffle your feathers, I don't want to hear about it. I had to buy me a new headset. I'm in control here. Moppert working the 2 spot.
Look at Augustine, Mike Augustine there in the 3rd position, but lots of pressure there behind the 72. Huey Cullen in the 4 and the 09 of Tomasi. They're side by side for 4th and coming after Augustine for that final transfer position.
Tia's got company. She's got to the inside. That 72 of Mike Augustine. They're down there. They will tickle the tires on the bottom of the racetrack. Look at the drive that the 14 of Moppert's got. She will rocket ship that thing off of the turn as she's got great forward drive. And now look at the outside. Huey Quillen. Now he's found his liking up there on the top. He's going to make a run down the back straightaway.
One out of a direct ticket to the A-Main is the 4 ride, and Huey Cullen, the driver. Now, change of grooves there for Augustine. He's gone up to the top of the racetrack, pressuring Moppert to the outside. That puts Cullen down by the tires. Side by side for the position into turn 3. Cullen getting the advantage.
Man, I'm telling you, if Tia Moppert hits that point of moisture every time, the same time on the bottom of turn 2 right there, that thing just drives away from him, and she will hold that number 2 spot. Look at this. They come down there. Now the 72 of Augustine down on the bottom. Is it still the 127 of Majulis, your leader?
That time, Moppert changes line. She goes higher down in 1 and 2. She'll do the same over here in 3. That opens the bottom line for Mike Augustine. Can he capitalize? Right now, he runs in 3rd, looking for another position. Still 1 out. Is that 4 ride and Cullen in that 4th spot?
You watch Moppert. She changed her line. You know, I've always said bring the one, dance with the one that brought you, and that's what you've got to do sometimes. She's up there chasing the 127 on the outside, working the same line he is, of course, teammate driver. But will that open the door for the 72 on the bottom side of Mike Augustine to take that number 2 spot? As they work down the front straightaway, there were just 2 laps to go.
Still, anybody's guess who will have those transfer spots. Cullen still right there, but 1 out, trying to chase down that 2nd and 3rd place battle. Speaking of the battle, they're side by side for a moment. Momentum puts Moppert back into the position as they go down to the back straightaway for the final time.
That worked down into turn number 3 and 4. Blake Majulis easily taking the win in the 127. Tia Moppert going to come home in the number 2 spot, and Mike Augustine, your third and final A-main qualifier here in heat race number 4 is, tell you what. A great heat, 4 heat races, Sean, as they seeing some movers and shakers, seeing some new blood up front, as Blake Majulis, no stranger to being up front there. Tia Moppert did a great job in the 14, coming to the number 2 spot. Mike Augustine, Huey Quillen. Then it'll be Tomasi St. Clair, Fletcher, Scolf, Weaver, and Hardy, rounding out your top 10 finishers. So now it is time to move on to the C is in cat, main. C is in Charlie, or C is in, I don't know, whatever things you can bring them up to. 8 laps of distance on this one, Sean. Top 4 moving on in. It'll be Matthew Logan, the 41 for the Team D1 RT Racing, and Justin Robinson, the 21 for HRE Motorsports.
Mid-South racer Robert Fletcher in the 77 starts third on the grid. James Grace out of Blue Groove Motorsports stable in the 269 will line up in fourth.
Drew Hopkins, the 157, sitting there in the inside row number 3. To his outside, the 92, Corey Austin.
Seventh starter is Eric Scolf in the number 50 with Ethan Toter on his outside in the 4th row in the 23.
Then we will go to row number 5. It'll be Derek Keltner, the 20 machine, and it will be Travis Gardner in the 29.
We'll move now to row number 6. Jack Weaver inside 34, Caleb Ferguson 31 out.
Then we go to row number next, which is 7. That's Eric York in the 26 and Tim Korkanowski in the 40.
Chase Hardy lines up inside the 8th row. That's the number 49 ride. The 43 of Matt Yorker will start in 16th.
And starting last, that is the 42R of Alex Robinson. We'll see if Alex has got enough oomph to get into that top 4 from deep in the field. Sean, as the green comes out, we are underway. Down into turn number 1, it's going to be the 41 of Matthew Logan to the race lead. The 21 of Justin Robinson to the outside. Look at this. Dude, James Grace took a big look up under the skirt, and everybody will keep her clean and green, as it is going to be on like Donkey Kong back there, Sean.
How are we still green? Oh my, this has been a tight and hotly contested one, and we're early on in this. We're 4 wide, nearly 5 wide off of turn number 4. Only the top 4 keep dancing here tonight, as pounded into the outside of the wall was Corey Austin in the 92.
Austin, thing wouldn't turn, got real tight, but speaking of turning, if you're going to turn this C-main yellow, you just got to wait for the yellow to come out, I guess, if you're going to turn this C-main yellow. So the caution flag coming out. Wasn't quite how I planned for that to go through. As we take a look at the replay. Later. Yeah, we'll try it again. The 116, Chase Hardy got into the 98. And then I don't really know what happened there.
I'm not sure.
Let's see if we can get a better replay on this. Okay. Here's what happens. So Chase Hardy runs into Eric York. York then breaks something in the steering. I'm going to have to assume, because the car doesn't turn as he goes in, scoops up the 116.
I think it must have taken the throttle linkage and stuck it when it got the steering too.
Now that's version number 1 of that situation. Version 2 is he dumped him after he hit him. So we'll go back to the green flag and say hustle on down the back straightaway. There's always 2 sides to every story, Sean.
That's right. And somewhere between is the truth. Here you see Matthew Logan, your race leader, Fletcher, Hopkins, and Grace right now. That 92 machine has the final transfer spot, but that 269, James Grace all over him, trying to keep his dancing shoes on.
Down the back straightaway. Remember, you got to, if you want that chance to dance, you got to be in the top 4. It's Matthew Logan, now Drew Hopkins, Robert Fletcher, and Corey Austin. Your top 4. They'll work on down into turn number 3 and 4, and down the front straightaway still Logan, Hopkins, Fletcher now. Fletcher been to the 3 spot. Him and Hopkins working it back and forth, and James Grace, the 269. He'd like to make that thing fine and go to the B main as he now moves into the 4th spot.
Yeah, he now has that final transfer spot as you see that battle for position number 2. Matthew Logan in control of this one in the 41 for the final set of turns. Matthew Logan's going to go from the C to the B, picking up the win here tonight. Coming to the line for second, it's Fletcher, Hopkins, and James Grace will get that final transfer spot with that 269. So that puts the C main into the books here tonight from the Limaland Speedway for the World of Thunder. Mimi's Making in Motions, Warrior Logistics, Super Late Models. There's your official finish from the C main. Logan, Fletcher, Hopkins, and Grace. They're hurrying to get their cars ready for the B main. Finishing 5th was Austin, then Scalf, Toter, Robinson, Keltner, Ferguson, Weaver, York, Korkiakowski, Gardner, Hardy, and Robinson, your 17 car finishing order from the C.
Hey, Sean, what's that thing they do like when, I think... I can't remember when the pandemic was going on and people just kind of just jumped off in the middle of the race. What was that called? That was like a
rage quit?
Yes, Alex Robinson rage quit tonight.
Oh,
yep.
I expected better.
That's the rumor going around in the pit from the Lizard camp. So I don't know. I don't trust them gals all the time. But that's what I heard. I heard Alex might have had some rage tonight.
Unbelievable.
Here's the starting lineup for either that or he went swimming. I don't know.
Could be. Starting lineup for the B has Adam Hommerding on the pole, and the 42, Alex Bergeron in the 12 outside.
James Rand the 00 and Huey Quillen in the 4.
Gavin Korikowski and Dixon Slinger in row 3.
Row number 4, it'll be Jennifer Hantz, the 11. Tanner Tomasi in the 09.
Chris Orencia drives the 78 inside. Row 5, Austin Friedman outside in the 89.
I will see Mario Perez in the 22, and the 13 is Travis St. Clair.
Then it's Whitfield, Logan, Fletcher, Hopkins, and Grace. The rest of the grid, we are green on tonight's B.
Green's out, B main underway. This one we will take the top 12 out of it. It's 10 laps of distance. It will be Alex Bergeron on the outside of the 42 of Adam Hommerding. Hommerding working down the bottom. Now you see the 12 of Bergeron racing the top of the racetrack. The 4 machine of Quillen. Now it's Ray, and here comes Slinger in that 51. Sean, he's only going to have to race his way out of a B tonight, not going to put the can of soup on the stove.
Almost like being on vacation. Big difference, though, in this where you finish in the top 12. If you win this, you can start 13th in tonight's A. If you're the last transfer, you start 24th. So every position matters in this 10-lap B main here tonight as we watch Jennifer Hantz right there running in the 9th spot in car 11.
Hantz back there. She is, she's all in the gaggle of this one. It is deep in the field racing. Like we said, each position gets you closer to the front to start. As she's got the 78 machine going to the outside of Chris Orencina there, and they're 3 wide ahead of him. The 15 of Korkanowski, the 09, and the yellow is out.
Well, I thought Hantz was going to make it 4 wide there for a moment right before the caution flag comes out as your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay comes out here as you see the action down here in turn number 4. Looking at Travis St. Clair, the 13 there, and he's going to get sandwiched. And that starts things.
Whoops, hang on a minute. Old Travis Sinclair in the lucky number 13.
A little unlucky there for the moment. But, we talked about it, Jerry. These race cars on this little racetrack, there's not a lot of room out there. And, you can run out of real estate in a hurry with these cars, especially when you're racing off the corner at, 3 wide with a couple of other drivers.
It's like Bergeron's done a little bit of the Crete dancing. See the right rear of that thing kind of tore up a little bit where he's laid it off the top of the racetrack up there on the Crete. So we'll see if that has any problems on the car as you see them. Well, about everybody's right quarter is about tucked under. As here we go to the green flag. It is halfway home on this one. Look at this, Sean. Battle for the number 2 spot.
They are sailing it in there. 3 wide there for a moment for position number 2. You can see the 4 of Kulan down there. Slinger right behind him. Hommerding just in front of the 4 right. Down the back chute they go. And, a little contact there. The double zero of Ray getting into the car in front of him. Everyone continues on clean and green.
They'll work him on that way. This one is winding down right now. Drew Hopkins, to the caution, is running in the 12th and final transfer spot. That's usually a name, like you said, you don't see in a B, let alone that deep in a B. So let's take a look at the replay here and see what happens. There's Mario Perez in the 3 car. Him and Hopkins make a little bit of contact. He had to check up, and as he did that, well, as you said, tight quarters racing. Once the accident happens, the way everybody's running on top of each other, Sean, it is pretty tough to get these things mowed down. You see Hopkins and Perez make contact, and then the white car there, and then around they go.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. Tight quarters racing, and you're driving along fine, and you can't really see the people to your outside, and somebody gets turned and comes down across your nose. The reaction time is milliseconds to avoid that, and unfortunately, we go back under the caution in this B. But laps winding down on this. Again, 12 transfers, so these drivers up front, they're sitting in a good position. They've got to keep that in mind when that green flag comes back out.
So yes, exactly. Like we said, just 3 laps remaining on this one. Shauna's green flag comes back out as they motor off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Gets Bergeron working it there. Lets her slide from the tires to the top. He catches the crete. That's going to open the door. Here comes Adam Hommerding. Hommerding going to work it on in there. Now that he's going to lose 2 spots as Bergeron back into the number 3 position.
Bergeron now works the bottom, trying to come back for second, but Keelan's got the spot. Final time into turn number 3. Adam Hommerding will take us off of turn number 4 and pick up the win in tonight's B main. Keelan, Bergeron, Slinger, and Ray will finish in the top 5.
That will line up tonight's 24 car. Mimi's Makings Emotions, Warrior Logistics feature event. We'll go to a 2-minute warm-up session, waiting for results to pop on up here. As your transfer cars going to be Hommerding, Keelan, Bergeron, Slinger, Ray, Tomasi, Korkanowski, Hans, Whitful, Oricina, and Logan and Hopkins all moving to the A main. Speaking of moving, we're going to move into a commercial break, and we're going to come back with A features here on Ultimate Dirt TV.
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am.
All right, Sean, warm-ups are complete. Not sure the cars, but apparently there was a nasty wreck in the warm-ups back there on the back straightaway. So hopefully everybody got everything fixed up. And speaking of fixed up, let's fix you up on your lineup. Starting 24th tonight, going to be Drew Hopkins, the 157, and Matthew Logan, the 41 to his inside.
Row 11 outside, Chris Orencia in the 78, and starting 21st is Lyndon Whitfill in the 3.
There she is. Send her a message about those new night lights. Jennifer Hunts, the Mimi's Makings Emotions, Warrior Logistics Million Dollar Motorsports number 11, and Gavin Korkanowski there in the 15 car.
Ninth row has Tanner Tomasi outside in the 09, and starting 17th, the 00 of James Ray.
And it'll be in the 16th starting spot. That's Dixon Slinger, the 51, and Alex Bergeron goes 15th in the 12.
We go to the 7th row. That's Huey Keelan on the outside in the number 4, and starting inside is Adam Hommerding in the 42.
Then we'll see Mike Augustine rolling off 12th in the 72, and Tyson Pankow in the 91 to the inside.
Your top 10 starters now on the outside of row 5. It's the 37 of Randall Carter, and inside, starting 9th, the number 25 of Jarrett Murphy.
Going to row number 8, it is TM Oppert in the 14 machine, and Dylan Wilson in the 80D to the inside of row number 4.
It'll be Dylan Hauser in the number 2 car, starting 6th on the grid, and Davin Cardwell at the 07 will line up in position number 5.
Rolling off 4th will be Blake Majulis, the 127, Devin Morgan in the 112 to the inside of row 2.
And here's your front row. It's Zach McSwain, the 38 on the outside, and on the pole, it's Evan C. in car 33. We are green. 50 laps here at Limaland as Evan C. leads him down the back straightaway.
50 lapper, you got to be there at the end, and if you want to be there, you got to get through lap number 1. We'll see how we get through it. It will be Evan C. in the 33, your race leader. Excuse me. And it will be now the 112 coming to the bottom side. Here comes Devin Morgan. Morgan to the inside of the 127. Majulis, the 2 machine to the outside. That, of course, is Dylan Hauser. Hauser's got company. They fan him out 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Wow, that was quite the save from Majulis. He kicked in one of those tires, nearly slid up in the racetrack and got into somebody, but was able to save it. Speaking of, here comes the 2, Dylan Hauser ripping the top side of the racetrack. He's coming after the 112 of Devin Morgan. Into the turn 1 they go, side by side. That's for position number 3 as the 2 gets into the outside wall. Dylan Hauser's going to lose at least 1 spot. Now they're 3 wide.
Look at this, Majulis downstairs. It will be the 70 of Cardwell in the middle. He's the meat of the Hauser sandwich on the outside. Hauser caught the creek that time on the top of the racetrack. They'll work him on down into turn number 3 and 4. It's Hauser still on the outside. Majulis working the bottom. You've got him top, middle, and bottom in that great 3-car battle, Sean.
Beautiful racetrack here early on in tonight's Mimi's Making in Motion. A main event. Slide job coming. No, cannot get there. The 112 ripping around the outside. Devin Morgan holds on to the 3rd spot. Does he? Now a big slider. Dylan Hauser takes the spot. Down to turn number 3 they go. Morgan to the bottom. Hauser up there on the top, side by side. That's the race for 3rd. Give it back to the 112 of Morgan. And the yellow
Caution
is out.
Ooh, that is going to take all that great racing by the wayside. And let's take a look here at the replays. I believe we ride along with Gavin Korkanowski. Korkanowski there in the 15 machine. Ooh, 78 machine gets a little crossed up. Man, and the 157 of Drew Hopkins, nowhere to go as everything cleaned down the racetrack. Korkanowski just gets it in there. You see it got had to check up on the binders right here, and as he does, the 41 gets him. And here's Hopkins. He's evasively trying to get away from it, and well, just tore the bars off the right side of that 157.
Sure did. You know, we talked earlier tonight about that 78 of Orencia had been really throwing the car into the corners. Well, there's just not the grip to grab the car anymore. But plenty of grip there for your race leaders. They'll grab it. Head on down into turn number 1. We're back under green here at Limaland in tonight's World of Thunder A-Main.
Down the back straightaway now, Zach McSwain has got the lead. Here comes the 2. Oh, contact! Big shot out of there for Evan C. Used the right side to move the 33. Off of 2 and down the back straightaway. You know Evan C's going to be working that machine. Coming back, Blake Majulis. He saw what the 2 did. He's got to think, what do we do when we get to him? Down the back straightaway. It is Hauser up to the top. Here comes Majulis. The 112 of Devin Morgan right there as they all chase McSwain down the back straightaway.
Not even a fifth of the way into this main event, and the gloves are off. It's time to get down and dirty here in this A-main event. Here comes the 127 of Majulis. He's got his sights set on Dylan Hauser. McSwain continues to lead out front, clean and green in front of him. Here comes the 112. Devin Morgan working back to the inside. A little contact there on the front straightaway into the concrete with Evan C. in the 33.
Right now, Blake Majulis is sizing up to two of Dylan Hauser. Right behind him is Morgan. Then it is Cardwell and C. They'll race on down into turn number 1 and 2. It's the 2 machine. The racetrack right now is clean to the top. We'll see what happens as everybody's going to have to start thinking about when do you win it or wear it. Down the front straightaway, it's Zach McSwain, Dylan Hauser, Blake Majulis, your top 3.
Here's a big slider from Majulis. He'll clear the 2 of Hauser. Hauser returns it. Back down into turn 3 they go. Hauser slides up right rear to the cushion. Here comes Majulis back to his inside. He's got to run. Does he send it? He does. Slide job for second. Majulis has it, but just for a moment. Hauser back to his inside. Another slide job down here in turn 3. You betcha. Off of 4, though. Majulis, big run to 127, back to the runner-up spot.
Oh, Dr. White Castle's crepe cases are served down the back straightaway. It will see Majulis back there to the number 3 spot. Hauser right there knows the games can be played. We'll see what happens with him, though. Knows that if you're going to do it, you got to do it with the best, and you can make those slide jobs work if you do them right. Down the back straightaway, it is Devin Morgan in the number 4 spot. He watched all of that. He had the best seat in the house right back there, Sean, as he watched 2 laps of haymakers going.
And you can bet he was ready to pounce if anybody had a miscalculation out there, as that 112 looking very strong here. Evan C. just behind them continues to round out your top 5. It's still Zach McSwain in the 38 out front. Here you see Davin Cardwell's 70, and now we're back out front. McSwain looking strong. Here's that look just there on the outside of the top 5. The big block winner, Dylan Hauser, still running back there in position 7. Right now, Jerry, looks like that top groove really coming in, but we know this racetrack's going to continue to wear out. We're not even to the halfway point yet.
Yes, there's some moisture down there on the bottom. Did anybody set up to tickle the tires downstairs? We'll find out as you ride along there with the 70 of Cardwell. They will work there to the caution flag. Yellow is out.
Just as that yellow was starting to come out, Evan C. had changed lines. It dipped to the inside of Devin Morgan, but that's going to get negated with the caution flag. Your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay up, and well, it didn't take long to see there was going to be trouble when that instant replay popped up on the screen. They were all stacked up, and Orencia gets into the outside wall. Jennifer Hans has trouble. Yeah, all sorts of problems there at the exit of turn number 2. You see Matthew Logan in the end is the car that goes around and brings the yellow.
Yes, there was some skirt looking going on down there on a couple of them. They buried it up under there, so we'll see what happens on timing and scoring.
Does put us back under the yellow, just shy of that halfway point in this 50-lapper here tonight for the Mimi's Making in Motion Warrior Logistics Super Late Models of the World of Thunder. So you get a look there at Zach McSwain, 25 on the side of the car, 38 showing up on your scoring ticker, but the number 1, that's what matters. He's out as your race leader. Yeah.
So I'm looking at our group chat here, and they shared it says these announcers are outstanding, and then the chat goes on. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it, but hello, Justin Waller, tuned in on Ultimate Dirt TV, watching. Yeah, he apparently you guys were each other's clowns this weekend on my Snapchat story. Look at this, Blake Majulis. Oh, Hauser gets turned down the back straightaway.
That's going to be big trouble there for a driver that was running in a podium spot. We remain green. Oh, look at this pack. Hauser's still getting it. No, Evan C in the mix of that in the 33. Now they're 3 wide off of turn number 2. It is getting wild. Oh, the gloves are off, Jerry, and we're taking it to the next step.
I tell you what, it was like that scene of Days of Thunder when Cole Trickle comes up and says, that was Evan C. And he looks at Blake Hauser and says, remember me? And showed him that he said, that was not what I liked early in this one, so let's see what we can do. Hauser's going to have to struggle to work his way back through the field. Now Hauser goes in there. Hauser beats on this. Here we go. Now there's going around. I guarantee you there may be some talking about this one after that, as Hauser has been rough as nails on this one in the 2 car. Everybody, though, has went retaliation on the 2, and unfortunately, they were not. Evan C. went to retaliate against him and just got the bad end of that deal. Is it still up front, Majulis, your race leader?
Yeah, I got to say, I didn't expect that out of Hauser for a driver that talked about such clean racing last week in the post-race interviews down there in Victory Lane after his runner-up spot. We'll have to think about that as we see battle for the race lead. Look at this. Slider from McSwain gets back up in front of Majulis. Majulis back to his inside, racing for the top spot. Down into turn number 3 they go. Majulis on the bottom, McSwain on the top. Off of the corner, still side by side as they go by the stripe.
They'll work him down into turn number 1 and 2. What a battle for the race lead. That is let Davin Cardwell come to the number 2 spot down the back straightaway. It is McSwain out front in the 25. The 127 machine of Majulis working there in the number 3 spot is Cardwell. Then it is the 112 of Morgan and Wilson. Down the back straightaway, you see it. There it's Quillen, Hauser, Bergeron, Tomasi, Slinger. That is your top 10 down here as we are in 2/5 of the way into this one.
Hewlin in that 6th spot, the number 4 car out of the B main. He's gained 8 positions. Tanner Tomasi up to 9th. He started 18th on the grid. So some drivers making their way through the field in this one. As you see Alex Bergeron right there, he runs in 8th. He's gained 7 spots after coming out of tonight's B main. Let's look back towards the front there. You see the 112 of Devin Morgan running in 4th. He's got Davin Cardwell, the 70, just in front of him by about 8 car lengths.
Yes, he is. Is this McSwain? Now look at this deep in the field. Here comes the 25, Jarrett Morgan back there. You got the 157 of Drew Hopkins working on that. And then it is the 41 machine also back there deep in the field of Matthew Logan. Those guys will slice and dice right behind Tia Moppert in the 14. That's your battle for 13th on back.
Some great racing going on deep in the field in this one, as you can continue to see them use 2-3 different lines as they rip around the Limaland Speedway as we come inside of 15 laps to go in tonight's main event. Again, Tia Moppert there continuing to run in the 13th spot. You see the 21 there of Whitfield still running up there in the top 20. Good racing action here deep in the field.
Everybody working it on in there. Tia Moppert's got some right side romance coming from the 25 of Jarrett Murphy. No harm, no foul. Both cars keep moving as it's Moppert seeing the 25 machine going on around now. Mike Augustine right ahead of them, still 2x2. The 41 machine right back there, and Matthew Logan and Drew Hopkins working side by side.
Oh, big slider there, right up there from the 41. Matthew Logan able to grab a spot. Here comes that 157 of Drew Hopkins. Big slider from the 157. Crossover move, and here comes Moppert back up forward for a position. Oh, we're trading the big sliders way back there in the field.
This is just for I beat you, and I got more points going into the week 3 than you did. Off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, Tia Moppert working the top of the racetrack along with Matthew Logan right behind her. It is Davin, excuse me, they work the 157 of Drew Hopkins back there. They're going to fan it out 4 deep off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway.
Oh boy, that is a wild one as the 157. Hopkins works right down there by the tires. If you're wondering about out front, McSwain has a 0.7 of a second lead over Majulis at this point as we're right around 8 laps to go, 9 laps to go in this one as they're 3 wide for the position. 5 cars under a blanket right there down the back chute.
Yeah, Evan C. has had to reel his way back into this. Of course, got knocked back in the field earlier in this one. He's having to drive the wheels off of that 33 car, bringing it on around, trying to get around Tia Moppert. Oh, gets a little aggressive there. Had to back on the binders. You saw the back of the car come around. It's Evan C. back there trying to rally his way through the field in the 33 car.
Doing his best with a lot of action all around him. Out front, Zach McSwain leads this one in his number 25 machine as you see him 4 wide off of turn number 4. C continues to come through the field. That is for position number 16. He is trying to take over the speedway. 5 fingers in the air. We've got a handful of laps to go here from Limaland.
They work him off of turn number 4. You see it, the 33 machine, Evan C. trying to get there. Of course, right ahead of him sits the 21, I believe that it was the 41 to the outside. That is Logan Westfall right ahead of him as they work down the front straightaway.
Just behind them, you see the race leader come into the view there. That's Zach McSwain in the 25 machine. Down the back straightaway he goes and into turn number 3. So they're racing for position 3 wide just in front of your race leader. Is that what Majulis needs to get there? We've got less than 2 laps to go.
Hustling on down the back straightaway. Things are there. Less than, like you said, a lap and a quarter left in this one, Sean, as they work him on down. Like we said, leaders in heavy lap traffic. Your leaders have caught this battle back there for 12th on back. The 25 of McSwain saw the white flag. He'll come down through. He is going to pick up Checkers and the win. McSwain with the win. Majulis, Cardwell, Morgan, and Wilson going your top 5 finishers here at the end of a very fast 50 laps here for the Warrior Logistics. Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model. Stop number 2 of season 12 here on Ultimate Dirt TV with the World of Thunder. So we will find our finishing order. Like we said, McSwain, Majulis, Morgan, Wilson, and Hauser holds on to a top 5 finish.
Tanner Tomasi 6th. Alex Bergeron from the B main will be 7th tonight. Kulin in 8th. He also come from the B. Hammerding and Slinger complete your top 10.
11 through 15 are Mike Augustine, Justin Murphy, Matthew Logan, Evan C., and Lyndon Whitfall.
Randall Carter was 16th. Drew Hopkins 17th. Tia Moppert 18th. Tyson Pankow 19th. And Chris Orencia 20th.
Final 4 finishers going to be James Ray, Gavin Korkanowski. Then it will be Jennifer Hansen, Davin Cardwell, your 24 finishers. So we're going to step away for just a few moments, pay a couple bills, get our top 3 podium finishers down into victory lane, and we'll join you back here with them here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Sean, we are back, and we have found our way to victory lane tonight. Zach McSwain holding off the hitters. Zach, congratulations picking up the feature here on night number 2 of the Warrior Logistics Mimi's Making Motion Super Late Model feature. Walk us through that one.
Yeah, thank you. Started second there and was able to roll to start on Evan there and get the lead, and then was rolling there pretty good. Kind of got tight there. Majulis got the lead, but was able to get back by him and then just fight our way through traffic there. It was kind of hairy there a couple of times, but was able to hold on and get the win.
Yeah, we'd kind of watched you guys walk the dog on the field, and we got watching about a 7-car battle for 13th on back, and with about 2 to go, next thing you know, here you are. You're in that battle we're announcing, but you're coming through to put them a lap down. It had to feel good to have a real dominant car tonight.
It was pretty good. I really didn't practice too much. Just jumped on and kind of ran the race. But, we was pretty good there. So usually you don't pass Majulis there. He's really good. So they will get back by him and hold him off the win. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got to feel pretty good, not only picking up the feature win, but putting that feather in your cap saying, man, I drove around Majulis more than once and kept the win. So congratulations tonight. Got a lot of great sponsors on this hot rod. Who do you want to thank for the win and the trip to victory lane?
Yeah, just thank all the guys at D12. Thank Speed Connection, Big Al's Guns, Team Midwest Paint, Speed Style Graphics, Alex Payne for the paint. Thanks Slicker Graphics also, and thank y'all for the broadcast, and Steven for giving us somewhere to race every Sunday night. It's always fun racing this league, so thank you.
It's always a great way to cap the weekend off or start the week, no matter which way you look at it. Zach McSwain picking up tonight's feature win. And Sean, it looks like you found our runner-up, Blake Majulis.
Blake Majulis standing by here, driver of the 127. Blake, take us back there. Maybe 20 or so laps to go in this thing. You and McSwain found yourself throwing some major slide jobs on both ends of the racetrack.
Yeah, we were able to capitalize there and take the lead. My apologies to Hauser there on that restart. I cut down to get under McSwain and got into him a little bit and gave us both, some good damage. So I think that hurt my run a little bit. I think McSwain just was a little bit better there in the long run. I've been having a lot of luck lately with getting the speed down. Just got to work on being comfortable and being maneuverable. The speed's there. Just got to adjust a little bit.
What does it take to get comfortable inside of one of these race cars when you're running on such tight confines of a racetrack, and then you throw in some of the traffic that you guys also saw tonight?
Oh, of course, yeah, man. It's always tough to get your car dialed to what you feel is needed to win, and I should probably do a little more testing and figure out where I'm missing a little bit. Not comfortable right now. Haven't been comfortable for a little bit. Just trying some things and figuring everything all out again after this update, and hopefully we can learn from this one and move on to the next short track and hopefully have a little bit better showing.
Couple laps to go there. You guys really got into some heavy lap traffic. Did it give you some hope that you might have one last shot to come after the lead, or what was your thoughts when you come on that giant pack of 7 that was all racing for position?
Oh man, I've had my fair share of lap cars wrecking me for the win, so I could it was definitely going through my head. You just got to be cautious and watch where to go in those situations and think of every case scenario or every scenario possible. In that case to get by the leader. But other than that, it's just kind of watching out and where can you go where the leader's not and maybe catch ground at the same time. It's definitely a difficult thing to do, especially when you're trying to run smooth against that wall. It's not easy.
You made it look pretty easy tonight, doing a solid second place. Who else do you need to thank for the good run?
Yeah, of course, man. I actually have a lot of people. D1RT Racing and everybody over there, of course. ML Performance, Matt Logan for everything he does for me. CFM Esports, Swag Design and Media, Design 75, Jeremy Ray for the sweet wrap. As always, Showtime Decals and Apparel, Reliable Energy Solutions, and CD Cinematography.
All right, Blake Majulis, your runner-up here tonight for the World of Thunder at Limaland Speedway. Third place tonight, Davin Cardwell. He's standing by over there with Jerry Van Sickle.
Holy cow! I thought you was an old washed-up has-been, not going to find a podium this year, but finally, Davin, you made the top 3, bud. I'm awful proud.
Me and you both, I didn't expect to get a podium, but we'll take it.
Walk us through that one. That thing about a couple cars ahead of you got pretty dicey between some of them front runners when they started wailing on each other.
Yeah, the boys back at the team, they've just not stopped working, and we've been trying some new stuff here on these setups. So, we've really found some speed, I think, and I know starting 5th that if we just kept our car clean, we could easily get a top 3 if we just stayed clean and just watched where we put our car in. That's what we did.
We talked about it. Of course, this league has become one of the stronger leagues in the country when you've got world-class racers like we've got in it. And as you said, it makes you want to be a better racer, and it makes you got to spend some extra time working these hot rods, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. We haven't been the best here recently, but we've been working and not stopping, and I think it's starting to pay off a little bit.
Well, there you go. Always a great looking hot rod. Who do you want to thank for the win or the run to the 3rd place tonight?
I think Newton for the wrap, Keltner Contracting, Big Allen Guns, and just everyone back at the team. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, Davin, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. And Sean, that wraps up a Super Sunday Fun Day here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Of course, started it off with the Miller Family Trucking Dirt Street Stocks. Then we moved on to the dirtfans.com. 410 Sprint Cars, the Envision Graphics Big Blocks, and then the Nightcap. Oh, I tell you, never lets you down. I mean, it's like a good stiff drink right before you leave the bar. It's not the right thing to do, but at that time it's perfect, and that's what tonight's been. Last 2 weeks have been perfect. It comes right down to the end, and just like last week, we're leaving you itching for more. What's going to happen next week? Is the drama going to come over? Is it going to be a new winner? Are we going to see 3 different faces in victory lane? Are we going to see our first repeat winner in the Supers? It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
It is, but you called it perfect. I disagree. I've got a big problem with these super late models.
No, why? Because they don't have a wing on the top.
No, it's too late on a Sunday night. We're coming up on bedtime, and after watching all that action, I'm amped up, man. I'm ready to go for more. I don't want this my Super Sunday Fun Day to be over. I don't want to have to wait until next Sunday night to see more wild, wild action like that.
Sean, it's one of those things. We're going to leave you wanting more every Sunday night, and we've done it. Look at you. I mean, you're giddier than you're giddier than a schoolgirl or Justin Waller at the Battle at the Barn. One of the two. I'm not sure which is more wound up, but it is. It has been an exciting night of racing all through all four divisions, and we can't thank each and every one of you enough for coming on in, watching, taking care of us. Of course, Mid-South Dirt Slingers, Warrior Logistics, Mimi's Makings and Motions, all great sponsors of the World of Thunder Esports League. And, of course, the Nightcap, the Warrior Logistics, Mimi's Makings and Motions, Super Late Models. Send us off to Betty Bye for sweet dreams. And it's like sugar plums and fairies will dance in your head and make your Monday morning great.
I sure hope so. And speaking of getting to bed, I know you've had a long weekend. Great work at the Battle at the Barn, and I'm sure you're ready to go say goodnight to everybody, too, and get caught back up on some sleep after some big weekend for you.
I'm actually looking forward to go back to work to detox, of course, get the carbon monoxide out of my system. So from the entire staff here at the World of Thunder Esports League, of course, BJ and Steve back to running race control, Brett Wheeler on bringing you all this beautiful footage you've witnessed all night long with Ultimate Dirt TV. Of course, my Alex Robinson on the call on them, Sean Neistat and myself. It's been our pleasure being with you here on this Super Sunday Fun Day. Don't forget, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. We'll be back here next Sunday for 4 big shows for you, so we hope you can make it. So from all of us to all of you, have a safe trip home. Be good. God bless. And finally, good night, everybody.